for women. We come together because we all choose to devote our lives to a life of prayer. When I told some of my friends that I was considering entering religious life, entering a contemplative life, I got some interesting responses. And one of the responses was, you're throwing your life away, you're throwing your career away, all that education, all that work, all that time that you spent building up your practice, what's going to happen? And I have to say that once I felt the call, there's just this pull of a prayerful life, and it's almost hard to describe. It's what I call mystery, because I don't really know how to describe it, but I couldn't not do it.
I was in Guatemala. I was one of the ones that founded a monastery there, and thought that would be kind of where I would be for a long time. And we have a custom on New Year's Eve to have a prayer day, and so I was in my room just praying, and it became very, very strong that I was being asked to bring the Poor Clares of Cincinnati. And that, I'm not a kind of person that, has ever had anything like that happen to me before. I don't have that kind of experience, usually with God, but then I talked to my abbess, and she said, well, if this is really of the Spirit, we should listen to this, so let's take a month and we'll both pray, and so we did. And then when we got back together, she said, I'm feeling that, we should really at least maybe take some steps and see. So I came from Guatemala, and it was the first Sunday of Advent of 1989. I had visited some of the other monasteries just telling my story, because I was just like one person, and usually it doesn't quite work like that. So it was quite a journey. I had met Diane and Anna Maria. I didn't really know them. I had only met them, at their monastery once. We had a vision about Poor Clares in Cincinnati, but not because we knew each other at all. You can imagine there's a transition. I'm coming from Guatemala. They're coming from Philly, New York, trying to bring something new to birth, and yet we were all dealing with our own, sadness of leaving. And so really it was the Eucharist each day that really, really cemented us together in our life of prayer, and then the support of the friars and the Franciscan sisters and the seculars. We had said earlier, we don't want to build. We were just trying to build our little community, and the thought of, but we looked and we looked. 14 months we looked for a place, could not find a place. The provincial called, and I was kind of coordinating some of it, and so he said, I can give you land. And so I said, I think as much as that's such a scary thing, I think that's really maybe what we're being asked to do. So we did fundraising and planning at the same time, which is very stressful, Then we'd meet with the architect from Monday to Friday, and then we'd go out and raise money and then meet with the architect. And we never didn't have enough money. It got really close. We never had to stop the project from beginning to end. So this is what happened, We knew we needed a monastery, a place that people would recognize as a place of prayer. But we've been really blessed, as you know, with many, many good women who have followed us, and they really see what, a lot of our charism is hospitality to the Franciscan family and to anybody that comes. And everybody that's come has really seen that as what, what we particularly think is special to us.
Stepping away here to this place of peace and stillness and quiet is really refreshing and really calming and really grounding. And only, 10, 15, 20 minutes from busy parts of Cincinnati.
My name is Sister Sunda. I come from Tanzania, Africa. I have lived in the in Mwanza Monastery 14 years. In my life, I was desiring to be a missionary. So when this chance came out, And the Spirit gave me this opportunity. So I was so happy. I said, this is the will of God. The prayer which I have been praying for a long time, now God has answered me. It is when I arrived here. The sisters came to welcome me in the airport, and I was so happy because the whole community came to receive us. The life of prayer and contemplation, it's not easy to explain, but when you come and visit and see, so you get that taste. We said now we have left our homeland, but here we have to find a new home.
But it's very much like family life. It's we live together, we work together, we eat together, we play together, recreation, and also as part of a Franciscan spirituality tradition, it is that family atmosphere that is one of the draws for religious life, for community life.
Now we remember again in a special way in our prayers and our thought, our sisters in Yangyang in South Korea. May the Lord God grant them the places they need at this time.
That is always my prayer, almost every day. Lord, make my heart a little bigger, stretch a little bit, so that the world can fit in, embracing the whole world. Once a year, we are raking leaves. The families is looking forward to that because it become a big family gathering for us. We with our rakes and hats, and with families, little kids with their very small rake. It's so cute. It's just so cute. It's really a family, big family, become big family. That is sounds very contrasting. We are in closure, but there's a lot of ways we are so much part and journeying together. There's so much avenue to answer God's call, and no worry. Mm-hmm. In a right time, you are called to serve.
Yes.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
May the Lord bless us, protect us from all evil, and bring us to everlasting life.
Amen.
When I mention the Clares, there's many people that don't know that they're here. They don't even know they exist in these woods.
Right, because you miss the entrance. You don't know
Yeah.
it's there. But if people would find it, they would. It's a little piece of heaven up here. It's a place of quiet prayer. It's very
Peace.
spiritual. Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
Peace.
They're not closing themselves out from the world. They know what's going on in politics. You know, all of the disasters. They're very aware of the world. They pray for all the wants and needs.
Yeah. You can share with them prayers that you'd like to offer.
I don't pray with them like you do every morning, but if I would come, they make you feel welcome. They want you there. I mean, you never feel like you're intruding on their space.
I think it's a happy, joyful place.
It is. I always go away with something to get me through the day, just like Sister Ann said today. You know, wake up to something positive. It's good. It's a good place.
In Tanzania, I joined in 1st of January 1976. When I was thinking about the Poor Clare, and especially this kind of people staying and praying, living together without going around, then I was feeling like a fire burning in my side. And sometimes if I go to the chapel or to pray, I was very happy and peaceful and joyful. For the first year of the novitiate, I said, my God, I ask you, if it is not my vocation, then I may not feel to like it, or something can happen. Even mother can say it is not, we see you are not fitting here. But for me, I think I have this grace because I am so happy and I like this life very much.
Beautiful. When you knew you would come here, your friends, your family, your sisters, did they say, "Yay," or "What are you doing?"
Some they will say happy, but some they say it is too far. Why you wanted to go so far? I said I like to go there also. I wanted to be missionary. But because of grace of God and I think God give us this vocation, we love each other and we are living together. Yeah.
Good morning, Poor Clares. Most people contact us today is actually through email, website, that type of thing. The first times that they come, they would be like in the guest area. Most of it would be like they'd join the community for prayers, for all our community prayer in chapel. Then when they would come for a longer time, they would live within the community, so they would really have a full immersion experience of what our community life is like, what our prayer life is like, what our free and personal time is like. We have a strong community life.
We will put this one here, and we will put Doris, and we will put it here. Yeah, here.
Sometimes people, when they think contemplative communities, they think everybody off in a hermitage somewhere.
Yeah, that wasn't, well, Ann did too. Yeah, Teresa did, so there might be a second viewing.
But usually one of the things that's the hardest adjusting to is that, you're living with 10 other people and 10 other personalities. And that's usually the kind of the crux. Many of the women who have come in with us for a time have remained friends of the community, and they've learned Franciscan values from being here, and that continues with them.
When I was on retreat in Travelers Rest, South Carolina with our Poor Clare sisters, Sister Nancy directed my retreat.
And so people can come there and make a retreat, and they're either free to be totally left alone, if that's what they want, or they can join us for prayer.
And at one point during the retreat, she says, "You need a contemplative leisurely activity." And I said, "What's that?" And she says something that, like on a prayer day, it's a meditation. Some people garden. I take pictures. Some people walk in the woods. Some people paint. Do something artistic. Crocheting is popular around here. So I affectionately call my photography of especially the nature around our monastery my contemplative leisurely activity, my CLA. I'm really happy with the results. Knowing that I'm with a group of women and their goal is the same as mine, to pray for the needs of the church, to pray for the needs of the world, to pray for individuals who need prayers, to pray for those who have no one to pray for them. Then some of the nitty-gritty things or the uncomfortable things about living a community life or family life are bearable because I know that we're all dedicated to the same thing.
So each one have joined.
I'm going to get up.
We each get one Canadian dime.
But you do like that, only you can see like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You have very many.
But you may not have a choice.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you have 7.
Oh, Luisa, you did?
Okay, you choose this one. Okay, yeah.
We're just
That is not
learning.
normal, okay?
Okay. We will try.
That is not
Because
normal.
I love your borderline here. 1, 2, 3,
I'll do
4,
that
5,
too.
6.
In fact, I didn't throw my education away or my career away or anything. So I might be a contemplative sister here at the monastery with no work outside the monastery grounds, but yet I can still use my education and my background in order to help us live our way of life here.